So let's start with your story first of all. How did you
Okay.
start Zostel? What was the problem that you were trying to solve, and how did you come across this idea?
Cool. So see, I'll answer that question. That's fine. I've been answering this question since last many years now. And that's why, I think it's one of those questions it does reflect back on us as entrepreneurs as well. If I, as an entrepreneur, if I want to follow someone, for inspiration, etc. So in today's time, you just Google it up. Okay? If I want to know that how Elon Musk started, I'll not wait for, a personal webinar with him. I'll get the basics going right away. So because these are all public information that are easily available, and that does reduce the quality of the conversation, because then it becomes a very generic kind of a monologue type. So that's there. But anyways, I'll just tell you guys. So I come from Jodhpur, and I always wanted to make games in life. So I knew that I have to go to an engineering college, and I knew from India today that the best engineering colleges are IITs, and I knew that IITs have coaching. So I was very sorted since sixth standard. I went to Kota, then I was lucky to get into IIT, BHU. I did not get computer science, and then I figured out. The whole idea is that I'm telling you these things because I did startup for almost 3 to 4 years before ZOS. All right, so I've been now building companies since my first private limited company was in 2009. I was 19 years old, and on independently as well as on the Facebook Canvas hota tha. Facebook Canvas was before Facebook went mobile. It was a platform on the web, and there were big companies like Zynga that made games like Mafia Wars, Farmville on the Facebook platform. Then it went mobile, and then mobile somebody else owns the platform. So Facebook was surviving in itself. Well, very exciting times. They had to split the app. If you remember, there was messaging was inside Facebook, and it was a very buggy app, but they somehow made the switch after they went public. And I had done a startup, and after that startup, as it was going on during my third year, I got an opportunity for an internship in Germany. Some hustles I did, and I ended up over there. I backpacked a lot, and I realized that it's a fantastic culture, and you get to meet new people, and it's a very self-discovery. It's a very self-discovery too. Today also, maybe deep down inside, we are meeting each other, we are talking, so that just from my learning experiences, maybe just the way I talk, maybe you guys see it live, you'll be able to connect your own dots somehow back. And I think backpacker hostels, you meet new people, you understand their culture, you understand how do they think, so that it really helps you understand your own bias. All right, so we have all grown in a kind of society, and so our conditioning is done by our environment. So that is why we all know that, let's say, I'll answer the DMs later. I'm getting some DMs as well. So, just let's say, that like the whole IIT race, whole engineering, doctor, IAS, all of these things, and having to have an answer of, what do you want to do in life? You can't really say in India that I'm figuring it out. I'm sure, if you can't, although we all are doing this conversation, that basically means in startup, we don't know anything. We are also exploring, even I'm exploring how to do, what to do, and, but these are not the things that you can tell your parents also. You can't tell your family also that, I want to think about what I'm doing. That's a luxury that less than 10-year-old kids have in India. And then the society pressure increases. And so I really felt that, just inside backpacking hostel, such a thing should exist in India. I just felt that, for the young people, there cannot be anything more that I can do other than, creating this infrastructure in which people can travel and meet other people. There's so much learning. It's better than, opening IITs, I would say. And with that spirit, it was very deep rooted spirit that I wanted this to exist more than anything else, more than there was no MVP as a concept when I started Zostel in 2013. And I did not really believe, the complete venture game, kya hai, SERI, kya hota hai, how do VCs think, etc. The whole idea was to really build something that I would love to exist. And the second thing that I really wanted to optimize was to really have, we all have to design our life, that how will we spend our 24 hours. So I wanted to design my life, after my graduation, post graduation, that I get to work on things that I love. I get to work with people whom I respect a lot. We all hate corporate. You have to, you find somebody, you have to daily see their faces whom you don't like. And there was nothing better than building with friends. So if you look at early Zostel, we were 7 co-founders. Then we had around 700 team members, but it was so many friends, seniors, juniors, batchmates from IIT, IIM, everyone was there. And so that's what I really optimized for, for my life, that I want to do something very mission driven, complete mission impossible. Your boldest of dreams. If I tell you that anything is possible in life, let me just tell you that anything is possible in life, and then ask you a very simple question. Now, what do you want? All right, what do you want? I'm telling Shubham that you can do anything. Tell me an answer. That is so scary that it is scary, but then you absorb it, and then you have full faith that it's possible, and then you commit your life to it, and that is how you sort of mold the future, build the future, manifest a reality that you want to exist. And so with that, I started off Zostel. I had some money from my poker winnings, and I built the first hostel in Jodhpur, and rest is largely history. Today we are world's largest backpacker hostel chain, and we are barely getting started. So over to you back, Shubham, with those comments.
That's amazing, TV. So I have been to Zostel Leh, Zostel Mussoorie, Zostel Rishikesh. I love this brand, first of all. So how did you come up with this product, the curation, the people which are there? They call like bro, what's up sort of thing. So how did the product curation happen?
So I think, it's not a curation, and I think curation is a simpler word, but I understand your question. You're just asking how did you really scale that culture up? And so we were very particular. That's what we were trying to build. As I just said, that we wanted that culture to exist in India, that people can freely and safely meet other people, and be in a safe environment in which you're not really hopefully judged for your culture and for your craziness. In any backpacker hostel, you are just a normal traveler who's looking to meet other people, and that's not what happens in a 5-star hotel. So that's the kind of culture we want. And those were my first co-founders. My first co-founders were Chetan and Abhishek. They were my batchmates from IIT, and we did not hire any property manager from any normal institute. Even today, we if you look at Zostel, because we realized that whole education that you probably learn in an hospitality institute, in which you have to behave like a service class, and you have to be there, customer is always right. What we realized, that what we wanted was that people want to make new friends. People want an environment in which they are easily hosted, they feel safe, they can meet other people. So Chetan, if you are really hosted by someone, so we were very particular starting when we really got probably for the first 10-15 people, we did not hire anybody who was not from IIT for managing our property, and that is possibly even impossible for anybody to do, because property managers' salaries are 15,000. Okay, and you can understand what are so. But because it was very aspirational, because the mission was such, we were able to attract the talent, and then gradually it was very easy. Gradually, as people, the whole difficulty is in the 0 to 1 phase. That boss, what the hell are you trying to build? Nobody knows what you are trying to build, so that's very difficult. So in the initial days when Chetan and these were there, then these juniors came, they were able to stay, observe, absorb, and do the same things for let's say an year. While they were doing it, get somebody else who is junior, because it's not really the whole idea of you don't need any skills from IIT, but all you need is that we needed smart people. That's all we needed. And we knew that we can get smart people who are in that zone, who are at least in that confident zone, won't be intimidated easily in that sense. And but it is really something that anybody can do. But so as soon as that was possible, one of the earliest one was then we had lots of dropouts, because it's something that once you are able to absorb how to really manage a Zostel or a hostel vibe, things get easier for you. So, and today then it just scaled up, then it just keeps compounding. You have to be very patient, and every year another few thousand people will touch Zostel. They will see what is, and they will see that it's not rocket science. Nothing is what is there. We are the first ones who did graffiti on any wall. Today there is graffiti in probably several cafes, backpacker hostels on the walls. But when we did graffiti, that was not seen before. People were very surprised that why are you paying to destroy your walls when they are so nicely painted. It's such a nice paint, why are you drawing art on it? And but just it's very simple. If you go to the first principle, you want a vibeful environment, you want a safe environment, you want to inspire individuals to really follow their heart. The idea is, deep down, we have never really said it, but the idea has always been that we don't just travel for clicking pictures, for telling other people that I have traveled here. That's a different kind of travel that has already many times existed. And even today, a lot of people travel, let's say, just for an Instagram photo. Let's say, we'll get some good clicks, etc. And we are probably the best on Instagram. We are like through the roof. But we are there because we never really wanted to be there. We wanted people to really travel and then get inspired and discover themselves. But we never shouted it. You can't really help people discover themselves by saying that, this is something a bit spiritual in nature. But I think life is such that, when people travel, then it automatically happens. They really come close to themselves, and then they go out and mostly put a caption or an Insta post, etc. So never spent any money on marketing also. So the vibe just continued, Shubham, over a period. Initial days are very different.
That's amazing. So now coming to the craziest part of this conversation, you are building a new category in this travel segment, a new trend that is coming up, the crypto travel trend. So what is Joe World, if you can give us some idea?
So yeah. So it's ZoWorld, so ZoWorld is, it's not just a category in the sense we are just looking at travel very different. So we have actually meditated on this problem for more than almost a decade now, that, how do I want to see a future in which anyone can travel anywhere. And I've really thought a lot about it, that how do we make it a possibility that, anyone should be able to travel anywhere? How do we reach that end goal in which, because I really feel that, once the time is about to come, that, let's say when I was young, even going in a plane was a big thing. Now it is like a bus altogether. In the future, going to, let's say, when I was 10 years back, when I went to Germany, it was like a whole different thing altogether. There was much more aspirational, I would say that. And today it's okay, fine, like every second guy has gone to Maldives. It's like on that level. So as people realize, as people travel, we will be able to see that we are much more similar than we think we are different. It's like a kueh ka mendak kind of a thing, that, while you are at one place, you think that, yeah, boss, you don't know, how are Chinese people, what is in Northeast, you don't know South Indian, that, we don't know, yeah, they are maybe different than us. You don't know Americans, there are differences. But when you travel and you meet people, you realize that, yeah, boss, it's just a language matter, just an understanding, and deep down we have so much more common, and it's the differences that make us all unique. And so I just want, such a world to exist in which people travel a lot more. And from a humanities perspective, I want that at least 1 billion people should at least travel to India. So India has learned so much from I really think that, today Indians are everywhere, globally. I think the world has accepted us as, kind people. I think we should really acknowledge the fact that has accepted us, there. So obviously there is, differences. Racism is a lot of time there. In India, there is so much racism, but India has to give something to the world. I think when any human being comes to India, and there is something that's different about just the Indian culture as well. There is a underlying spirituality of being satisfied in life, the way we approach life. If I look at a lot of Westerners, I see them struggle. They have millions of dollars, billions of dollars, but no happiness. And we know that it's a whole different ball game in India. And similarly, I think obviously all different cultures have different things. So I do think that millions or billions of people will come to India. And so just how do you build such an ecosystem? So we realized that all you really need to travel anywhere. And today I'm in Delhi. 3 days back I was in Bangalore, and all I knew was that I have a friend over there. I have a friend over here. I messaged him the night before that, boss, I'm coming to Delhi. He told me, yeah, boss, I have a flight. You can come over. Same thing I did in Bangalore. I told them that I'm coming to Bangalore. They even helped me with the RT-PCR test and everything. However we guys do it, the test and the PDFs that are required for traveling. But they made sure that, there are things beyond just an accommodation booking. There are things beyond the cab booking. That whole safe environment of, going to a place takes a week, in my opinion, to really be a local. You travel around in that city as if it's your own. And so, just we want to scale this up, that, how do we build such an ecosystem in which we can have millions of people, across the world, across all corners of the world. There are close to there are almost 3 to 5 lakh pin code, zip code, 10 square kilometer areas in the world. And so am I audible, or is my video lagging? Right? Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
It was just showing me that, video might. Right. So, just in this world, what we are now trying to do is that, we are Web3, or, the way we talk about crypto, tokenomics, these are very, I think these are the technologies that if you really want to build a big company, you have to embrace the new technologies, because they bring new possibilities. They change the complete landscape of incumbents who are fighting with you or who are trying to build in the same industry. And to really solve travel, to see a vision in which, millions of people are coordinating between themselves, be it a cab driver, be it an accommodation driver, be it a guide, be it a destination manager, anyone, be it a cafe owner. How do we build such a community of trusted individuals? And I think, that is where Web3 is really going to help us. So, that's what ZoWorld is about. It's actually not just a different category or something. It's a ecosystem that we are building. It's a million people community that we are building. And then everything else is easy, building over the community, building apps, building a travel game, building incentives, vagera, vagera. All of those things are easy. What the difficult part is, how do you get a million people, or let's say, you don't reach million directly, you reach 10,000 before a million. And so how do you get, let's say, even the first 10,000 people who believe in your vision and who do think that, it can be something for their life mission is. All I need is, let's say 10,000 DV who, really believe in this, that, we can create a world in which, anyone can travel anywhere. We can have local friends in the outskirts, in the villages of Spain, and, in the, let's say, in the, villages of El Salvador or anywhere in the world. So I think it's an interesting challenge. First of all, these are the kind of things that I like. I like to chase the impossible, and it's very difficult for me to work hard unless I see that it can't be done, so I think that can't be done. So it really excites me. And with that, to make it a possibility, we are using cryptocurrencies, we are using NFTs and everything. And the first step is that, I think what Web3 really enables us to do is that I've started solo companies. I've started with 2 co-founders. I started with 7 co-founders, 3 co-founders. But this time I want 11,000, more than 10,000 co-founders, almost 11,000 co-founders. And, that's where I'm taking ZoWorld, that I'm looking right now from tomorrow itself, we are starting a campaign completely focused on finding the first and the only 11,000 co-founders for ZoWorld. And if you're able to do it, with these 11,000 co-founders, we can then go to 100,000, we can go to 1 million. So hopefully that gives some idea of what we're trying to do. But please join us on Discord. Guys, we are at, discord.zo.xyz, and you guys can be, one of the co-founders very easily. If you guys are early, you guys can be one of the co-founders very easily for the ZoWorld, because the first 5 co-founders that we have officiated how to become is just getting 100 invites in our Discord server. So that's pretty easy. I think it will get difficult with time. And very soon, as soon as we have 5,000 Discord members, I'm just, shilling my own stuff. But as soon as we have 5,000 Discord members, then the NFTs will launch. So even I don't know, when the NFTs will launch, maybe in 5 days, maybe in 5 weeks, maybe in 5 months. But our first NFT, these are a Genesis NFT, and idea is to keep building on it. We'll have an avatar set, we'll have collectibles. So let's say you go to Eiffel Tower, or you go to a Taj Mahal, and then you buy a small Taj Mahal as a memorilla. So, we are really digitizing, probably everything that is about there. So you go over there, you can mint an NFT that is AR based, so it really shows that you were at that location. So I think very interesting things are possible for a global social led travel community. So that's there. And Shubham has shared the link, so do join, guys, if possible. So I'll give it back to you, Shubham. So it's pretty crazy, and would love your thoughts as well, guys. If you feel that it's pretty crazy what we are trying to do, give us a thumbs up. Yeah,
it's just crazy. I mean, the inspiration behind it, the ecosystem that you are trying to build, and the energy that we can hear from you while you are explaining what you're building is like just tremendous. We just love it. I mean, let's see how it goes. We are always there to support the community.
Yeah, it's all public. It's all public. Shubham has been in our town halls, and I think it's all public. So obviously, there's a lot of learning that I wish to provide as well. I think just by learning how we are trying to build this, I'm pretty sure that there'll be even bigger companies than us from you. Yeah, Shubham. So
Thanks,